So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a bit of an oddball of a Star Wars game, actually. I mean, I was thinking it'd be a bit of Force Unleashed from initial gameplay impressions, and then yeah, over time it's become a bit more like Uncharted. There's some Dark Souls influences on there. In fact, those latter two games are really, really influential to how this game actually feels, because the climbing and exploration feels straight out of Uncharted and Tomb Raider to a lesser extent. But the combat and the whole looking for different like shrines and stuff like that, I forgot what they were called because it's been a little while since I last played this game, but there's those shrines and I very vividly remember them because, you know, you literally have to kind of fight your way to get to them like Dark Souls, and there's a reward for kind of getting there. It feels good. It feels like, oh, thank God, I finally did it. But it's weird because this game doesn't have the difficulty of a Dark Souls game. You know, people would say, oh, that's a bad Dark Souls. Like, yeah. It's very much its own thing. This isn't straight up a Dark Souls clone. It's anything but a Dark Souls clone. It's fun. I liked it. It's pretty buggy though, and you know the game's been out for nearly 2 months. I think it's been out for actually a bit over 2 months at this point, and it's still pretty buggy, which is unfortunate. Although I haven't had as many issues as some other people have had with the game. I've been having a pretty good run so far, barring the game looking very rough visually on the base Xbox One. But I think that's more or less Unreal Engine 4 than anything else, because that game engine just isn't too well done for these consoles. It reminds me quite a lot of what happened with Unreal Engine 3. People were expecting more out of the 7th gen consoles, and Unreal Engine 3 couldn't really cope with that, like with Tekken 6. Was Tekken 6 on Unreal Engine 3? I know one of those fighting games were on Unreal Engine 3, and the game was at a pretty low res as a result. So, anyway, so there was that, and then Unreal Engine 4, similar story. Namely the Fortnite ports. Oh, there's a shortcut. Cool and nice. That's what I also really like, is just the open... I think John Linneman from Digital Foundry actually did a really good comparison to this, and he said it reminded him a lot of Metroid Prime, and I actually really agree. Although I haven't played that much Metroid Prime, but from the little bits I have played, it does remind me quite a bit of it, and I think that's really cool. I guess the whole general consensus is that the way I feel about it is that there's these myriad of influences and different things, and it's a cocktail of Dark Souls, Uncharted, Metroid Prime, and a couple of other games here and there, and it's just an interesting result. I think it's fun. I liked it, and I'll plan on playing it more. I just hope there's more patches coming out, or at least DLC or something that at least just gets the game just that little bit across the goalpost for me, because right now, yeah, it has issues, obviously. And, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I actually had intended on getting this video out quite a while back, but I completely forgot to, because I was busy with other games. And, yeah, I'll make sure I'll do a follow-up video eventually, because, again, as I said before, it's an interesting mix. Lightsaber combat's actually a lot of fun too, actually. A lot of it's very timing-based. A lot of it's very, there's like a bit of tactical, a bit of tactics to how you approach it. And I think it's just a really refreshing and pleasant blend, given especially what lightsabers are like in the Star Wars universe. And the skill trees, it's simple. Like, this is quite a simple and straightforward skill tree, which is nice to see, because with Ubisoft games, I know I'm going to another branch of influence that I haven't really talked about with this game, but Ubisoft games overkill the skill trees, and this game has simplified it and made it worthwhile to invest. It doesn't feel like there's any filler in it. It's just straightforward. And again, lightsaber combat's seriously so cool, because you time your deflects perfectly, and it's so satisfying. The only problem is that because of the performance of the game, these sometimes erratic performance, you will sometimes kind of cock it up, and it won't even be to your fault. It'll just be because of stuttering or something like that. I'm pretty sure the issue is less pronounced on like the Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, or even a PC. If anything, it'd be best to play this game on PC, just simply because of the 60 FPS upgrade. Because every version of this game runs at 30, which is fine. You know, 60 FPS is a very nice thing to have when it's there. But you know, if it absolutely cannot reach it, then a 30 FPS cap is better. Unless the game hits like 50 to 60 at all times, then it's fine where it is. A good example of this is probably some of the lighter levels in Hitman 1, where the game can fluctuate between 50 and 60 most of the time, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's basically the end of this video, folks. I know the fight's going to cut a bit early, but I didn't have the hindsight to record the latter half of this fight. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care.
A purge trooper. Their only purpose is to hunt Jedi.